Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Body beat down here on this Friday afternoon. Probably about 4 p.m. I don't know. 5:50, I don't know how to tell time. 3:53. Actually, I have dyslexia. So, I get things twisted up sometimes. That's what she said. So hopefully, the wind will not be a factor. It is a little bit breezy out today. But boy, does it feel good, man. The temperatures have really been nice for a few days, and really, really nice. Like a little bit of a coolness. I love it. So, we made it to another Friday, guys. Another Friday. Oh, about 3.5 more weeks and we're out of school. I'm ready. So, one thing you'll see today is I'm not working out today. I think I've done quite well this week. And my body feels like it needs to maybe not work out today. Having said that, it could also be an excuse. I work out really no matter what. No matter if my body is tired or not, or still sore or not, or what have you. I always work out. I figure why not? But today, we're not working out. So, we're going to enjoy that. But we are going to get a walk. And I did spin on the bike early this morning. So, but yesterday I did a pretty big deadlift session, and my back feels it, and I don't mean in a bad way, like I need to go to a chiropractor or anything, or there's any weird tweaks here and there. I don't mean that. I mean like my muscles in my lower back. Definitely. Yeah, it's not every day that I feel the muscles in my lower back worked out like that. So, I mean, that's a good thing. But definitely I'll take the day off. And probably Sunday we'll try to go for the 405-pound bench again. And then we'll just kind of start going again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Never stops, guys. You can't let it stop. Oh. The moment you stop and take too much of a break, the moment your break lasts 10 years. So, you cannot let yourself get to that point. Oh. So, if you watch my videos, and I'm sure you do, you know I had a couple of topics for discussion earlier this week. I really don't even remember what they were about, but I'm sure they were amazing. And I left out one topic because, well, the video was getting pretty long. And the one topic is, and I've talked about it before, but when something goes on in my mind continuously, I kind of feel like I need to talk about it again for whatever reason. So, anyway, for those of you that don't know, I was a cyclist for 5.5 years. Now, I'm not your typical everyday cyclist that you would picture with the drop bar bike and, wearing the Lycra or spandex, whatever you want to call it. Not that kind of a cyclist. But my version of a cyclist. Cyclist is just someone who rides a bicycle. So, I cycled for 5.5 years. All the time. I even went at least 1 or 2 months, at least, without missing a single day. And that's going 10 miles plus every day. Actually closer to 12 miles plus every day. Sorry. So, in that 5.5 years, I put a lot of miles on my bike. Or bikes. I ended up having 3 bikes for a while. One trail bike, GT hardtail, Pantera Comp. Good little bike. And then I had my Raleigh Redux 1 that I still have, that I'll never get rid of. And then I bought a used Trek 7.3 something, whatever, from a friend or a guy I know. I guess a friend. I guess we're friends. I don't know. But anyway. So, I did a lot of cycling. And somewhere around 2022, I don't remember, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, like the summer of 22, I stopped cycling. And I just went to spinning on the bike because it was difficult for me to find the time to go for bike rides and work out and do stuff around the house and just everything. And plus I walked every single day. So I was doing a lot. So I cut out cycling and I went to spinning, and I used a bicycle trainer for a little while, which sucked. Trainers are fine, but I had a faulty one. Made a loud noise. It's where you put your bike wheel in the little triangle looking thing and you can spin in the house. So I did that for a while, and then I finally upgraded to the Schwinn Airdyne that you see me spin on over the years. So I guess a long story longer is, over the months, I've tried to get myself to want to ride a bike again and put more time on the road. But I'm discovering that it's just really difficult. And it's one of those instances that I talk about where once you stop doing something, it's not easy to get back. And what's crazy is I live in a very area that I used to go through every single day on my bike rides. Like I had probably maybe 3 or 4 different routes that I would take, but a lot of times I would combine maybe a couple of different routes into one ride, and this whole area through here is pretty much ride B every day. But for some reason, I can't get myself to make that feel normal that I'm starting right here. And I don't know, it's just weird because I was so used to starting from our house that we moved from, I guess, and that's where I started cycling, was over at that other house. So I don't know, it's just weird. So I think the weirdness is just part of it, just a little bit. But the bigger issue is just getting yourself back to doing something that you did after taking so much time off. So yeah, I've tried cycling a few times since we've been here in this house, and although I don't care to do a certain amount of mileage when I go out, used to I wouldn't want to do anything less than 10 miles, and I rarely ever did, ever, unless it was off-road. Then I don't really care to do that many miles. That's difficult. But here, since we've been here, it's like I'm starting in a spot that I used to go through. So it's like I'm just cycling around a spot that I just used to go through. I don't go to the other, I don't ride like my route that I used to ride. I just kind of cycle around a little bit. And it don't make sense. It's weird. And I know this probably don't make sense to anybody. Unless you have the same, I guess, ways as I do, or maybe you've done this stuff before and you've experienced it, and maybe you're the same way, or what have you. But it's just, it's frustrating. And I have mentioned before, and it's no joke, I have mentioned before that leaving your house and doing things like that is not easy. That takes a lot of dedication. Far more willpower and dedication than just lifting weights. And I can say that because I've done both worlds, both things. So it's not even close. Even doing these walks that I do, still don't feel 100% like they did over in our other house. I'm doing them. I can do them okay. I feel okay. I'm a little close to houses, so it's a little weird sometimes. But yeah, so even doing these walks is a little bit different than it used to be. So pretty much every day I'm thinking about cycling, and I have been for a long time. And here lately, over the last several months, I find myself going online, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, or just online at stores and stuff, randomly looking at bicycles and thinking, well, how we do sometimes, well, I wonder if I get a new bike, if it'll help the situation, if it'll, get me going. You know how we do with other stuff like that. We think getting something new is gonna totally change everything. And I'm like, it probably won't. Now that don't mean if I were to start cycling again, that don't mean I wouldn't want another bike. Mainly a mountain bike, trail bike, because it gives me something different than the bike that I already have. So, but then you got to take the time to go somewhere. You got to travel 2 trails. You got to load your bike up. Got to load all your gear up. Food, drinks. Make sure you got a pump with you, and you got to sometimes have an emergency pack that has like an extra tube or something in it and other things, and it becomes a big ordeal. So there's that. Ooh, man, it's nice and shady and pretty right here. Oh my gosh, I could sleep right here. Not really, but I might could. And then there's the issue of when I was cycling for those 5.5 years, I always wanted to do a couple of things. I wanted to do my first century ride, which is 100 miles. I did that early on, got that done and out of the way. So yeah, went 100 miles in one day. So yeah, I got my 100-mile bike ride out of the way. And another thing that I wanted to do that I didn't let myself do was do some bike packing or touring. Bike packing has more trails and off-road, and touring is more, on the road. So I didn't let myself do that. Heading out to do something like that, a lot of times by yourself, is kind of scary. It takes time, it takes a little money. You got to decide if you're going to carry a tent or if you're going to find places to stay along, the route you're wanting to take. There's a lot of stuff to think about. Safety, things can happen out there. But I never let myself do that. But of course, we can never say never, right? Just because I didn't do it in those 5.5 years, don't mean that I still can't. I think the perfect balance for me, really, would be to work out 3 days a week and try to cycle minimal 1 time a week. That would be probably ideal. And maybe I can get back to it someday. I don't know. But anyway, this is just some conversation I thought I'd have with everybody, if you made it this far. Just some random things. So hope everybody's enjoying the channel. Hope everybody's having a good day. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. To the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael, here. Incredible host out here talking to himself as I walk past people probably wondering why I'm talking to myself. Don't forget, guys. Get up, get out, get rad, do it to it. We'll see you next time on the Body Beatdown. Hair, get out of my face. See y'all later.
Get up, get out, get rad, and do it to it!